Hello everyone. In today's class, we're going to learn Cauchy's mean value theorem, or this is also called as second mean value theorem. In fact, Lagrange's mean value theorem is a particular case of Cauchy's mean value theorem, right? So what is the statement of Cauchy's mean value theorem? This statement is very simple. Suppose f of x and g of x are two functions which are defined on the closed interval a comma b. That means when you give x value from a to b, your f of x and g of x exists and both are finite. Both are finite. Further, f of x and g of x are continuous. F of x and g of x are continuous in the closed interval a comma b. And second condition, f of x and g of x are differentiable in the open interval a comma b. So remember, what is the statement of Lagrange mean value theorem? Lagrange mean value theorem is f of x is a function defined on the closed interval a comma b such that f of x is continuous in the closed interval a comma b. F of x is differentiable in the open interval a comma b. Here we are taking, instead of one function, two functions, f of x and g of x. So f of x and g of x are continuous in the closed interval a comma b. F of x and g of x are differentiable in the open interval a comma b. And further, the derivative of g of x, that is g dash of x, is non-zero for all those values taken from open interval a to b, excluding at the end points the derivative should not be zero. If these three condition holds, then there exists C in between A and B. Then there exists C in between A and B, that is greater than A and less than B, such that at that point, derivative of f, that is f dash of C divided by g dash of C will be equal to f of B minus f of A divided by g of B minus g of A, right? See, by Lagrange's theorem, you know that your f dash of C, if these conditions are satisfied, then you know that your f dash of C is equal to f of B minus f of A divided by B minus A. Am I right? Then what is your G? See, because your g of x is also satisfying the same condition of Lagrange mean value theorem, your g dash of C is equal to, right? What is g dash of C? G of B minus g of A divided by B minus A by Lagrange's mean value theorem. But since you are taking f dash of C divided by g dash of C, this becomes divided by, and denominator get cancels. You will get f of B minus f of A divided by g of B minus g of A. That means in the numerator you are having slope of a secant which is parallel to the tangent drawn at C for f of x curve, and denominator is slope of the secant, right, which is same as the tangent, slope of the tangent drawn at the point C for the curve g of x. Using this, you are getting this. Okay. Now, how to prove this result? Very simple. We'll prove this by the same lines as we have proved the Lagrange mean value theorem. So, let us define a function h of x as f of x minus a into g of x, where a is a constant such that h of a is equal to h of b. H of a equal to h of b. Remember, we ourselves are defining this function. What we are defining it? H of x is nothing but difference of two functions, f of x minus a into g of x. And remember, we are defining this function with the condition that a is a constant which satisfies the result h of a equal to h of b, which gives the result h of a equal to h of b. We ourselves are defining this. Now, we know that our h of x is this. So what is your h of a? If you replace x by a in this, you'll get f of a minus a into g of a is equal to h of b, f of b minus a into g of b. Now do one thing, send this one to this side and f of a to this side. That becomes a into g of b minus a into g of a equal to f of b minus f of a. Or if you send this one to denominator, then your a will be equal to f of b minus f of a divided by g of b minus g of a. That means your right hand side of the theorem is a. So we need to prove now that there exists a point C in between these two such that f dash of C divided by g dash of C is equal to a. If you prove, then our theorem is complete. Now, remember, what is your h of x? What is your h of x? Your h of x is f of x minus constant into g of x. F of x is continuous. That given f of x is continuous. And g of x is also continuous. G of x is also continuous. And your constant functions are always continuous. They'll never go to infinity until we give infinity. Since your f of x and g of x are continuous, right? So your a is also continuous, g of x is also continuous, and product of two continuous function is continuous, and difference of two continuous function is also continuous. Therefore, your h of x is continuous in the closed interval a comma b. So we have proved our h of x is continuous in the closed interval a comma b. Now, your f of x is differentiable and g of x is also differentiable and a is a constant. We know that we can differentiate a constant also. So all three are differentiable. Therefore, their difference is also differentiable in the open interval a comma b. Therefore, h of x is differentiable in the open interval a comma b. And further, you should note that your h of a is equal to h of b. So we are having three conditions. First, h of x is continuous in the closed interval a comma b. Second condition, h of x is differentiable in the open interval a comma b. And third condition, h of a equal to h of b. So these three are the required condition for, right, Rolle's theorem. Hence, all the conditions of Rolle's theorem are satisfied. Therefore, now we can apply Rolle's theorem. Our Rolle's theorem states the given function must be continuous in the closed interval a comma b, and that function should be differentiable in the open interval a comma b, and at the end points the value of the function should be equal. Then there exists C in between a and b such that, remember, our function h is satisfying this condition, not f and g. Remember here f of a, it need not be equal to f of b, and g of b need not be equal to g of a. That condition is not there, third condition. So we cannot apply the theorem for f of x and g of x. But our h of x is satisfying all the required conditions of Rolle's theorem. Therefore, there exists C in between a and b such that s dash of c is equal to 0. Now, what is your h dash of x from this? Derivative of this is h dash of x, which is equal to f dash of x minus a is constant, so that will remain as it is. Derivative of g of x is g dash of x, right? Therefore, what is your s dash of c? F dash of c minus a into g dash of c. But you are saying that s dash of c is 0 from Rolle's theorem. Therefore, f dash of c minus a into g dash of c equal to 0. Now, send this minus a into g dash of c to this side. So you'll get a into g dash of c equal to f dash of c. But we want a. So what is your a? Your a will be equal to f dash of c by g dash of c. But we know that our a is this. Now we are getting a equal to f dash of c by g dash of c. When the left hand sides are same, right hand sides must also be same. Therefore, f dash of c divided by g dash of c, which is same as a, is same as f of b minus f of a divided by g of b minus g of a. And this completes the proof. So this is the proof of Lagrange mean value theorem. Now, see, what you do is, instead of g of x, you take g of x as simply a polynomial x. Then your g of x is x. Therefore, what is your g of b? Your g of b becomes simply b. Your g of b becomes simply b. And what is your g of a? Put x equal to a. So you'll get simply a. So this becomes, and remember, what is the derivative of x? 1. So this becomes simply 1. So f dash of c by 1 is f dash of c equal to f of b minus f of a divided by b minus a. That is your Lagrange's mean value theorem. So Lagrange's mean value theorem can be obtained by Cauchy's mean value theorem just by replacing g of x by x. If you put g of x as simply x, then you'll get a particular case of Cauchy's mean value theorem, which is a Lagrange mean value theorem, which is also known as first mean value theorem. And this is known as second mean value theorem. Okay. Now, let us verify and understand the Cauchy's mean value theorem for few problems. Verify Cauchy's mean value theorem for f of x equal to 2x square and g of x equal to 2x plus 3 in closed interval minus 2, 2. Now, as usual, we have to verify all these conditions. All right. So your f of x and g of x must be functions defined in the closed interval which is given, and they must be continuous and differentiable in the open interval, and derivative for g of x is not equal to 0. Then we can say that there exists c, and satisfying this condition, and we can find the value of c. Let us see that. Now, remember your f of x is a polynomial, right? Degree 2, and g of x is a polynomial of degree 1. So both are polynomials. Therefore, they are defined in x. I mean, they are defined in the interval, closed interval minus 2, 2. And also, polynomials are always continuous and differentiable. Therefore, both f of x and g of x are continuous in the closed interval minus 2, 2, and differentiable in the open interval minus 2, 2. And further, what is the derivative of f of x? F dash of x, which is derivative of f of x is 4x. And what is the derivative of g of x? That is g dash of x is equal to 2. And you should note that for any value given in between minus 2 and plus 2 for x, your g dash of x will never become 0 because it is constant. For any value of x, this will not change. So this is not equal to 0. Therefore, all the conditions of Cauchy mean value theorem are satisfied. Hence, we can apply Cauchy mean value theorem. Right? That means there exists a c in between minus 2 and plus 2 such that f dash of c divided by g dash of c equal to f of 2 minus f of minus 2 divided by g of 2 minus g of minus 2. A is minus 2, b is plus 2. Now, let us find out what is f of minus 2. F of x is 2x square. So f of minus 2 is 2 into minus 2 whole square, which gives you 8. And what is your f of plus 2? 2 into plus 2 whole square, which is 8. And what is your g of minus 2? G of x is this. Replace x by minus 2. You'll get minus 1. And g of 2 is, replace x by 2 here. You'll get 7. Substitute all this along with f dash of c is 4c. And g dash of c is 2 from this. Okay. Now substitute all these here. What do you get? F dash of c is 4c divided by 2 is equal to f of 2, 8, f of minus 2, 8, divided by 7 minus of minus 1. 8 minus 8 is 0. 0 by anything is 0. 2 2s are 4. So 2c equal to 0 or c equal to 0. Therefore, c equal to 0 is the only value which satisfies this condition and which lies in between minus 2 and plus 2. So this is how you have to verify Cauchy mean value theorem and find the value of c. Now let us see one more problem. Verify Cauchy's mean value theorem for f of x equal to sin x and g of x equal to cos x in the interval closed interval minus pi by 2 to 0. We know that f of x equal to sin x and g of x equal to cos x, both are transcendental equations, but we can express them as a series in x and a series in x, this one also, and they are in fact some of the polynomials. And here, when you give x value in between this will never go to infinity, and at all these points sin x and cos x exist and finite and also continuous as well as they are differentiable. Therefore, what is the derivative of f of x? Derivative of sin x is cos x. Derivative of cos x is minus sin x. Therefore, further, you should note that when you give x equal to value in between minus pi by 2 to 0, your g dash of x will never be equal to 0. Remember, you are giving value for x after minus pi by 2 and before 0. We know that sin 0 is 0, but we are not giving sin 0 because it is open interval. Open interval means we have to give within this, right? Within minus pi by 2 to 0, no value for x gives you sin x as 0. Therefore, g dash of x is non-zero, right? Hence, all the conditions of Cauchy mean value theorem are satisfied. Therefore, there exists c in between these two, such that f dash of c divided by g dash of c equal to f of 0 minus f of minus pi by 2 divided by g of 0 minus g of minus pi by 2. Now find what is f of 0, f of minus pi by 2, g of 0, g of minus pi by 2. What is your f of minus pi by 2? It is sine of minus pi by 2, which is minus sine pi by 2, and sine pi by 2 is 1, therefore minus 1. What is f of 0? Which is sine 0, which is equal to 0. And what is your g of minus pi by 2? It is cos of minus pi by 2. And we know that cos of minus theta is cos theta, therefore cos pi by 2. And cos pi by 2 is 0. Further, what is your g of 0? It is cos 0, which is 1. Now substitute all these along with f dash of c and g dash of c. Your f dash of c is cos c and g dash of c is minus sin c, equal to 0 minus of minus 1 divided by 1 minus 0. Or simply you will get cot c equal to minus 1. Or c equal to cot inverse of minus 1. We know that cot inverse of minus theta is minus cot inverse of theta. This minus comes out. And cot inverse of theta is pi by 4. Right? So we got pi by 4. Cot inverse of minus 1 is minus pi by 4. Okay. So we got a value for c which satisfies this condition and lies in between this. Now, similarly, let us see one more problem. Verify Cauchy's mean value theorem for f of x equal to log x and g of x equal to 1 by x in the interval 1 by e, closed interval 1 comma e. Now, remember this is a transcendental equation, and of course, your f of x equal to log x is continuous in this interval, right? Because if you give x equal to 1, you'll get log 0, and if you give x equal to e, you'll get log e, base e is 1. So it's a value which lies in between 0 and 1. It's a function which is taking values in between 0 and 1, and it is finite, therefore it is continuous also. And g of x also exists because it is discontinuous only at 0. If you put x equal to 0, then only it is discontinuous. But we are not considering 0 here. We are considering greater than 0. Therefore, at all the points, this is continuous. Therefore, both f of x and g of x are continuous, and also they are differentiable, right? Differentiable in the open interval 1 comma e. Because what is the derivative of f of x? F dash of x, which is derivative of log x, is 1 by x, and derivative of g of x, which is minus 1 by x square, right? Both exist within this interval. And further, you give any value after 1 and before e, this will not be 0, because this becomes 0 only if x equal to infinity. We are not giving x equal to infinity here. Therefore, we are giving only finite value from greater than 1 and less than e. Therefore, your g dash of x is not equal to 0 for all the values x in between 1 and e. Hence, all the conditions of Cauchy mean value theorem are satisfied. Therefore, by Cauchy's mean value theorem, there exists C in between 1 and E such that f dash of C by g dash of C equal to f of E minus f of 1 divided by g of E minus g of 1. Now, what is your f of 1? Your f of 1 is log 1. Log 1 is 0. F of E, which is log E, base E is 1. And g of 1 is 1 by 1, which is 1. G of E is 1 by E. Substitute all of this. F dash of C is 1 by C. G dash of C is minus 1 by C square. 1 C get cancels. And if you send this one to numerator, that becomes C with minus sign. Is equal to, take LCM of these. Right? You'll get 1 minus E divided by E. If you send that one to numerator, that becomes E by 1 minus E. Now, let me take minus sign as common in these two. So this becomes minus 1 plus E or E minus 1. That minus sign cancels with this. You'll get C equal to E by E minus 1. So there exists one value of C satisfying this condition, which lies in between 1 and E. Now, I've given 3 more problems. You solve by the same method which I have adopted here and write them as assignment. We'll continue in the next session. Thank you. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತೇನ್ರಪ್ಪ ಕೌಶಿಕ್